Hello? Can you say hi to the camera? Can you say hi, please? Can you make me look good for once? No? Okay then. Hello, everyone! Sorry for the lack of, well, everything, really. But I'm officially done with films, with film school. And yeah, you don't need to go. If you want to stick around for the rest of the video, thank you. But long story short, you don't need to go. Just don't go. Today is the last day of finals and shit like that. I just got done, and yeah, don't need to go. But I'm glad that it's over, and all I have to do is walk across the stage and get that goofy ass piece of paper. And then I gotta move out and move back home, and then who fucking knows from there. But yeah, definitely a lot that I learned from this final semester at film school. I don't even know where to begin or where to end, really, because there's a lot, but I'll try and keep it simple, and knowing my ass, it won't be. But I think just not worth it. And I guess there's a lot of lessons I learned. A lot of lessons involving teamwork, communication, interpersonal stuff, and just working together, being consistent, being efficient, and being communicative, of course. I'll be uploading the student film that I worked on. I was the director. It's Date Night from Hell. Yep, so expect that soon, but for this vlog, it's just going to be the same thing of me basically explaining why it's not worth it. Or rather, just my last semester was very hectic. I think I learned a lot of lessons involving dealing with difficult people. I've dealt with a lot of difficult people in several of my classes, especially the senior one. Well, I don't know. I kind of want to go into detail, but at the same time, it's basically just you will run into people who are very combative in your life. You will run into people who are difficult to work with. And sometimes you won't have a choice but to work with them. Fortunately, the difficult person that I dealt with in one of my classes, the problem was resolved respectfully, and that was nice, but wow, it caused a lot of unnecessary stress for the project and for the film, and it's just like, yeah. And it's a shame, really, because I've been a part of a lot of difficult group projects for this semester, and I've been a part of a lot of good group projects this semester. Like, there was one class where we just made a bunch of stuff. Well, yeah, I just made like little assignments, and I enjoyed working with those teams, but I don't know. It's just a shame. It kind of made me lose faith in the ability of people to work together and communicate effectively and I guess have a good work ethic. I don't know. It's difficult because in film school, or I guess in college in general, people have jobs. People have jobs, whether full-time or part-time, and it definitely conflicts. And I understand that. It's a shame. Maybe one day when I'm not feeling, well, I'm not feeling anything right now, honestly. But maybe one day I'll get more into the nitty-gritty and be like, oh, reflecting on film school a month later, a year later, who knows? The importance, it taught me a lot of what I don't want from collaborative efforts, what I don't want to experience, people I don't want to deal with. But at the same time, I kind of have to be thankful and embrace it. Because if I didn't have these experiences now, I probably would have never been able to learn from it and grow from it. Yes, it kind of makes me lose faith in like, oh great, so every other group project thing I'm gonna be working on is gonna be shit. But I don't think it has to be that way. Life is full of ups and downs, and life is full of difficult people, and it's full of people that, wow, I really want to work with those people. I think another thing too is you never really know what someone's going through unless you ask. Everybody's dealing with something, everybody's fighting their own battles, and everyone's winning their own victories. But you don't always know that unless you ask. And there's definitely been times where shit has been tough for me and also people I've worked with. And I'm glad that I kind of asked, because then it helped me have more compassion and understanding as opposed to just not asking and just being a bitter dick about it. I'll be honest and just say I still kind of felt like an outcast. I can't tell if I'm like, if I don't mind that I felt like an outcast, but I don't know. One of the stupid goals I had was like, oh, I'm going to go to film school and like make films with friends like Joel Haver does. And I never really made any consistent friends. Just people to work with, get the fucking thing done, and then move on. The only thing that kept me going, and this isn't really related to film school at all, but the only thing that kept me going is being a part of my college's Black Student Union. And I definitely intend to make a video that goes more in depth into that. The BSU has definitely been the only reason I like kept going to class and whatnot. Because I think if I never joined the BSU, I probably wouldn't have had any motivation. Because this whole semester, I've been burnt out, stressed out, depressed, and just like lost all my motivation, my drive for life, my drive for creating art or creating anything. It's like, it's not even a thing of like, I didn't have time to pick up this camera and make a sketch. It's what is that I didn't have time. And I just didn't have fucking motivation. Like, sure, I'd go pick up my phone and go record shit for memes and whatever, but it's just been difficult to stay afloat. And the BSU has definitely helped with that. And I hope to repay them one day. I'll come back mainly for them. If I ever do come back, well, yeah, I would like to come back here to support them again. Because if it weren't for them, if I didn't make the decision to just be like, you know what, fuck it, I'll go be in the BSU or join the BSU, then yeah, I would be in a shitty place. But they gave me something to look forward to. They gave me a community where I felt like I belonged, felt welcomed, accepted. Because everybody does. Everybody made each other feel welcome and accepted and respected, and it was nice. It was always something to look forward to, especially in the times where I was like, I want to fucking kill myself. Like, and I won't lie, there were a lot of times where I'm like, this is the worst fucking year of my life. Worst semester of my life. Past 8 months have been the worst 8 months of my life. And I guess to tie it back to film school, it can be a lot of stress. It can be a lot of disappointments and letdowns. Even when you're just doing your best and trying to learn like everybody else does. But for me, it's been fucking stressful. On top of making a student film, because it's like the student film basically took up all priority over everything else, which makes sense. But it took up priority over everything else, and there were times where it took priority over my health, my mental health, my emotional health, getting short hours of sleep and whatnot, and just a lot of fucking stress involved. And it's just like, this doesn't make me want to make movies. This like kind of killed, well, not just this film, but just film school in general has kind of killed my motivation for making stuff. But I don't think it's dead yet. It just needs to heal. Sure, it's like drained it a lot, but I don't think it has to be put away forever. So I still want to make stuff. I just need to take some time to basically rediscover my love of filmmaking, of picking up a camera and being like, what if XYZ happened? And I think that time will come soon. And I'll probably put this on my channel, but if not, I'll make a community post or something. But the only thing I've enjoyed making this entire semester was a documentary for the BSU about their center that they operate in. That is the Black African American Cultural Center. Making that documentary has given me joy. It's given me back my drive. I'm like editing it and I'm like almost crying because I fucking love these people so much, and I'm so happy to be doing something like this for them. And that was nice. I would say don't go to film school. You don't need to fucking go to film school to learn how to make films. You can submit to film festivals if you want and blow the fucking money, or you can just make stuff and put it on here. You can do whatever you want. You don't need to go to film school. I've been doing this thing lately where I stream live on Tumblr, and I think I had a person come in. I did have a person come in, and I was like, oh yeah, I'm in film school. And they were like, I want to go to film school. And I'm like, no, you don't. you do not want to go to film school. And I think at the time I was being exaggerating and being like, yo, you don't want to go, it sucks. But I'm just trying to be like, you just don't need to go to make movies. Unfortunately, we do live in a society that, like, oh, if you have a degree, then, oh yeah, hell yeah, we'll hire you, versus, oh, you don't have a degree, well, you're not going to get hired. Even if you fucking know how to operate cameras and all this other shit and tell stories. If you have a degree, then yeah. But even then, it's still a fucking pipeline. It's still a fucking pipeline. It's still a popularity contest. Team dynamic was just difficult. And again, I'll probably explain more later on. But you don't need to go to film school. If you're in college, go just take some film classes. If you can get a minor, then take a film minor. Or get a film minor. But don't blow your fucking money, time, and energy into a whole degree. You can learn filmmaking by doing it, by watching movies, watching shows, and just making shit and fucking up. Make mistakes. It's not a fucking thing of, I'm going to repeat Joel Haver, but I'm also probably going to butcher it, but it's like, you get quality through quantity. The more times you do it, the more you'll discover your craft, your style. You can't see my hands. And the more that you'll just be like, fuck yeah, I'll do this. And that way, it's like any other hobby. If you like doing it, then great. If you find that you like doing it, then great. If you find that you don't like doing it, then that's fine too. Because at least then, it's just a hobby. It's not like in school where it's like, I mean, you could change your major, but for me, it's like I should have just stuck with my English degree and just kept making stuff as a hobby. That's what I should have done instead of wasting 2 years of my fucking life. I don't want people to make the same mistakes I did. Of course, I'm just trying to be transparent with you so that you don't just, like, if you want the long or the short answer, again, don't go. But these videos that I've been making about what I've learned at film school, blah, 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 have been the long answers. And you don't need to go. Yes, I learned a lot about technical stuff, but you can go on fucking YouTube and look up tutorials for that. You can go on the internet and look up how to operate a boom, how to operate a sound recording thing, how to pet your cat. There's a lot more that you could do on your own if you just push yourself out there to go try it. If you want to make movies, you can make movies. You don't have to fucking go to film school. Same thing as, like, if you want to make video games, you don't have to go to video game school. I don't know, that's a shitty example. If you want to write novels, you don't have to go get an English degree. It doesn't have to be this thing of like, if you don't go to school for it, you're bad at it. No, just go make your own shit. The only thing I value from my time at film school is just the lessons I've learned of the kind of people I don't want to deal with, the situations I don't want to deal with, and how to avoid difficult shit in the future. Like, okay, cool, I learned some new editing techniques. I learned how to operate expensive equipment that I probably will never deal with again. I don't know what I'm going to do for a job or a career. I know that I just want to find something to pay the bills and pay rent for the first few years while I continue to make my own shit. But I know that I'm not going to just graduate and move to fucking Los Angeles. That's what everybody else is doing, but I don't know. I've had help from professors in finding jobs and careers and whatnot, and ultimately it's what I learned is you kind of have to make your own opportunities. No, not everyone's going to just give you a job where you pick up a camera and do shit. And I understand that. So I'm just going to tell that to you now. And just, you have to make your own opportunities and keep allowing yourself to fuck up. And another thing, if you're like young or whatever, well, if you're young, let me tell you something. No, you don't have to have your whole life fucking figured out. You don't have to have your whole life figured out. You're a fucking human being. You're going to make mistakes. That's obvious. And you will constantly be growing, constantly be learning, and that's okay. I don't know, I'm projecting because I feel like I have to have my whole life figured out. I feel like that I have to go find a fucking career in this industry for the rest of my life, and I just don't want to do that. I just want to fucking I want to get used to life without college, grow into my own, and just start a new chapter of my life. And before this chapter ends, I just wanted to, I don't know, kind of ramble on. Yeah, what are you doing? Just ramble on about film school, and just, you don't need to go. If you really, really do want to go, and you haven't been to college yet, do your research, do your homework. No pun intended, but like, do a lot of research before you commit. Don't make the mistake that I did of just like, oh yeah, sure, I got a minor in film studies, why not get a major in film studies? Like, don't fucking do that. Because we're talking about a long-term, not a long-term investment, but we're talking about a pretty huge investment. If you're going to be putting in the time, money, energy, and effort into going to college to do stuff like this, when you could easily just make it yourself, or go figure out and get a job where you can make videos for someone else, or just do whatever. The choice is yours. Ideally, don't stress too much about it like I did. It will all fall into place, but just know that you don't need to go to fucking film school, in my opinion. I still hold true to the fact that if I could go back in time and change, I would never have gone. However, the only thing I don't regret is joining my college's Black Student Union again. That's the only thing I'm gonna miss. I'm gonna miss those people, even though I'll try and find a way to come back, but other than that, it's like, I wouldn't change anything about that. As for everything else, I don't know, but I can't change the past. All I can do is just heal from the bullshit and just, I learned a lot of important lessons, I guess. I don't know. I value the more interpersonal and human lessons that I've learned than the shit I've learned in like a syllabus or whatever. Sure, I got to study movies. I got to write about shit, read some cool stuff, but other than that, don't need to go. I graduate this weekend, and then don't fucking know what the future holds. I'm just trying to take shit day by day, because I'm tired of fucking living in a fucking world that pressures people into having their whole fucking life figured out, and just wasting their youth, wasting their time and energy, rather than just fucking testing the waters and trying to find what fits. And sometimes it may not fit. Sometimes it'll fit for a little bit, but then you'll have to change. That's okay. That's what I want. I don't want to have to fucking just graduate and then immediately get stuck into something that I hate for the rest of my life. I want to figure shit out. I want to fucking grow and learn and keep making shit while I do it. I want to make filmmaking a part of my fucking journey of growing up and becoming my next best self. I don't know. But just, yeah, my voice is getting dry. I'm going to go celebrate finishing film school, and just, yeah, you don't need to go. Don't go. Go make something right now, whether it's a short or just go get your friends, whatever, even just yourself, and go make something. Doesn't even have to be a video, movie, whatever. Just make art. Do whatever the fuck you want. You don't need a big ass budget. You don't need a big ass crew. You don't need these ridiculous deadlines. Just go make shit. Just take it from me. If I spent 3 hours making a feature-length film and having fun with it, as opposed to spending 8 months making a 10-minute film that was arguably the most stressful bullshit I've ever fucking dealt with in my life. And not even in a way that was like challenging or enriching, it was just hard. Yeah, you don't need all that stuff. Just go make whatever you want to make. And fuck around and find out, literally. Make mistakes. You get quality through quantity. Your fucking worth isn't measured by like how many film festivals you submit to. It's not measured by views you get on the internet. It's not measured by like, oh, all these other fucking superficial factors that are taught casually, like, well, unfortunately, this is the kind of thing. Like, fuck, I don't care about that. I just want to tell stories, make people laugh, make people cry, maybe scare people with like cheesy horror movies, but I don't want to fucking be a part of a fucking industry that's like, hi, make pretentious, dumb, boring shit and sink hundreds of dollars into submitting to a bunch of festivals only to get denied. And I'll be honest, I do understand that I may sound like a sore loser, but it is kind of fucking stupid. I don't know if I'll be submitting to film festivals when I can just put them for free up here on YouTube for you guys to watch, for the world to watch, as opposed to just busting my ass and then being like, oh yeah, no, we didn't accept it. Yeah, not a fan of the culture, the competitive bullshit. I just want to tell stories. And you can tell stories. Anybody can tell stories. Doesn't matter the medium. Doesn't matter if you have a fancy camera. I have a fucking basic ass camcorder, and I've told stories with it. I've told stories with my phone, and you can tell stories too with your phone, your computer, whatever you want. You don't need a fucking degree. But if you really, really, really do want to implement film into your college career or whatever, if you're going to college, just take a few classes. Take a few classes, take it as a minor, and if there's people that need help making films, work for them. And that's honestly all you'll do, all you'll need. You don't need to do what I did and be like, oh yeah, you're gonna fucking spend 2 years dealing with all this shit. Well, that's it. Thank you for watching or listening. Probably going to be too lazy to put visuals over this anyway, but I appreciate you guys following me through my journey of film school. And I hope this helps someone down the line, even if it's just one person. But I just wanted to try and be transparent about it and be honest. Because if I can prevent someone from making the same stupid mistakes that I did, then great. And yeah, I'll try and make some more stuff this summer. I know that I want to make another feature-length film. I think it's literally just going to be called Making a Feel-Good Movie because I need to feel good. And it's going to be like a happy one. And then other than that, I don't know what else I'm going to make. Probably not going to be any GHS episodes up until I move into a new place. Definitely going to be doing that. And yeah, I look forward to sharing more stories with you guys and keeping you a part of my growth as a person, as an artist. I don't know, whatever. Thank you again for watching. And if you're having a difficult day, just remember, it gets easier. Thanks, guys.